Hey there, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. And here we are on another lovely Sunday, and I think this is an official start to summer. It is just the most gorgeous day outside. My lovely wife this week spent a lot of energy getting all of our patios fully set up with we've got flowers and new vibrant carpet, and just she knows that I'm limited to to the space that I can occupy because of this leg, and so she's making all of the spaces be as beautiful as possible, and it's really wonderful. She even filled up a patio cooler so that I have a selection of bubbly waters and fun sodas and things like that to amuse myself, which is really nice. Very, very fortunate when you have loved ones taking care of you. That's kind of, I've just all week just been thinking, I'm just full of gratitude. I got ding-donged by my lovely friends Rosie and Caroline. They are two little girls that I have known since birth. They knew me. They were introduced to me when I used to be the executive chef at Google, and they would come in and they would see Chef Nicole, and that's how they grew up knowing me. And so we have a pen pal relationship, and now it's been over a decade or so later, and they still address me as Chef Nicole. It's very adorable. But where is that? Oh, I think it's upstairs. I got a new little unicorno, sushi unicorno, so cute, which was adorable. Made my day. They know that I can't go out, and so they brought a little joy to me, which was lovely. Yeah, it's well, speaking of my leg, this week I had doctor's appointments. I had my MRI, if you remember, on the lumbar spine, and I have great news. So far, only one of the testing has come in. There's more testing to come, but they found 2 bulging discs. They found frayed nerves. They found compressed nerves. I know this sounds, it sounds funny being excited by this, but for the last 6 months, essentially everyone has just simply been saying it's neuropathy, it's the cancer, potentially it's this, it's that, and I really couldn't focus on it because I had that broken rib and I couldn't move. I was in bed for not being able to move, sitting straight up for months and months, right? And finally that has healed, which allows me to shift my focus to the leg. I've been able to actually get in and have some MRIs done and things like that, and they're finding results. This is so exciting because it means there's a problem, an identified problem that I can hopefully find a solution for. If not find a solution for, at least understand there's an identified problem. I know what it is, and it's unfortunate that I can't solve it. That's a road I'll have to go down when we get there. Right now, it just means that the electrical stimulator, the spinal electrical stimulator that I am going to be trying to help motivate, to help move this leg, is actually the right path. I'm actually on the right path because there is now an identified problem, and this is the best solution for that problem. When you have these frayed nerves, it's basically sending all of the wrong signals to my brain, telling it that there's all these things wrong when there's really nothing wrong with my leg. So if we can figure out how to rewire that, if we can figure out how to address that, then I could potentially stand up again. Which would be amazing. Obviously because these are the last months of my life. This is why being able to be mobile and being able to enjoy as much as possible is important to me. I'm coming down to the end, and knowing that, and knowing whether it's in 3 months or 6 months or this year, I want to be able to do as much as possible. I worked really hard for that, and that would be lovely. It's not, I've actually gotten used to the wheelchair at this time. I choose the wheelchair. It is so liberating. I went this week, we are trying to do little micro adventures to keep my spirits up. And so shout out to Google, by the way. I don't know if you know, I never paid attention to this, but on Google Maps, if you participate in creating as a business your Google card, you will identify whether you are ADA accessible, right? And so I was able to go through and we were able to look at these businesses and see, are we able to go there with a wheelchair? Are we going to be able to access it? And we found out like one of our favorite comic shops we can't access. So we had to find, something else to do. And my new favorite little bookstore, Manja comic gaming store, it has so much, it's like an umbrella of nerddom. It's so wonderful. It's called Goblin Market here in Chicago, and they are accessible, and we were able to go spend an afternoon. Being in the chair made it so that I wasn't exhausted. I was able to take my time and enjoy rather than the full focus being on staying upright and the pain that was causing. So I have no issue with if I have to be in a chair, I have to be in a chair. I just, if there's an option to not be for these last months of my life, I would like to not be. And I'm really excited because I think that there's a potential that this could be reversed. We'll see. One step at a time, one day at a time. We know this for right here, right now. I'm doing the best I can. I am trying to keep my mental game as positive as possible, because I don't want to waste, as we've talked about from the very beginning, the very first decision I made was I wasn't going to waste a single moment being angry, sad, and just curled up in a ball feeling sorry for myself and wasting time. And so I'm trying that same approach, keeping with that for this transition of these last several months where I haven't been able to walk. It is exciting though, isn't it? The potential. God, it's so much work. And it's the other reason. Like, I just like to deal with the fact that I'm dying. I would just like to deal with the fact that I'm wrapping all this up in the midst of a really great life and not have to deal with the falling apart that happens. I know I'm lucky to even have this option. I'm lucky to even to be here in as great a shape as I'm in, but it doesn't prevent me from wanting more. Yeah. So this week has been micro adventures. We got our patio set up, and then my wife, we were just like, it's beautiful out. Let's take walks by the lake. Let's take walks by the park, and really try to again stay in the space of I'm here and I'm fortunate to be here. This week's going to be a little bit harder. My wife, her foot is healing, but she needs to see her surgeon in Jackson Hole where she had her surgery. And so she is in Jackson Hole now. I'm alone in the house. But when I say alone, I'm not alone. I have an army of friends and chosen family that are at the door she barely left, and 2 hours later I had a visitor hanging out with me, which was really wonderful, my friend Ann. So I am a little nervous about this week because of the mobility on your own is difficult. But I do start PT this week. And so I got a prescription for PT because I want to do PT along with this spinal cord stimulator, along with my leg has been pretty much immobile for going immobile for the last 6 months. So I've been losing muscle mass. I've been losing, I can't bend my foot. So I know there's a lot of work that needs to be done in order for me to get back into that shape. And so that's what I'm I held off because I thought, why waste the PT when I couldn't do anything with this rib anyways? So this week, even though I can't barely stand up, I'm going to start PT. I'm sure that there's exercises that they can give me. The following week, they're going to do where they track the nerves. It's called an EMG, a neurological test, to see what's being sent to your brain and, you know, back and forth. So I love science. And then they're going to put that stimulator in. So things are coming along. And I think that hopefully by doing PT, that's going to start to wake these muscles back up again, which is going to be necessary. Yeah, what a dream, huh? Can you imagine? God, the ups and downs and the peaks and valleys of this, like, and this is what I said. I didn't want to deal with. What I found so emotional is you start to lose your leg, but then, you know, a couple of weeks ago, all of a sudden I stood up. It was pain-free. I was able to walk around the park, and of course that disappeared. But the peaks and valleys of it, it's a lot. It's a lot. But it's okay for today, for right here, right now. My leg isn't too bad. I'm a little vomity today and a little, gotta check my blood pressure, a little dizzy, hoping that is just a momentary thing, because there's a new ice cream shop that Annalise is gonna pick me up and take me to if I can muster up the energy today. And I would love to do that. So, although my wife did leave me with my favorite apple crisp, so I don't know how much sweets I can have. She's so sweet. She left for the airport and made me a pan of my favorite little nosh, which was lovely. Yeah. Well, all that said, I think I'm gonna go upstairs and see what I can do about maybe take a shower and see if I can progress towards that ice cream. Sounds good, yeah? Okay. Well, I will chat with you next week. I really have nothing except for the PT this week, and that's a big deal. Big deal, right? So wish me luck on that, and I'll see you next Sunday. All right, goodbye, my friend. Ooh, I wanted to share something with you before I let you go. Boy, that was quite the making stairs with a bum leg is breathtaking. So give me a sec, because I'm so excited I forgot. Do you remember one of our early on coffee chats? I introduced you to one of my favorite graphic novels. It's called My Favorite Thing is Monsters. It's by an illustrator, Emil Ferris. One of my favorite books. The storyline is great. The illustration, like the detail, you could spend a year going through this book. It's just so amazing. And one of the things that made me pick it up in the first place was I'd read the story where she had been traveling and she had, I think, got bitten by a mosquito and got West Nile virus and ended up paralyzed. She was able to recover from that, but it took quite a while. In her recovery from the paralysis, she created her first book, My Favorite Thing is Monsters, Volume 1. Now, this was years ago. I picked up the book. It was very important to me in the beginning of cancer because it was something that I spent a lot of time reading and also inspired by, that if she could come back from this day by day, that, you know, maybe perhaps I could too. Anyways, she had been talking about creating a book number 2 forever. My Favorite Thing is Monsters Volume 2. I've been keeping an eye out for it. I gave up on it, to be honest, this past year. And all of a sudden, when I went to the Goblin Market, what do I find? Volume 2. Ah! So I have to, if you didn't pick up one, I would pick up one. I would pick up 2. Especially if you like illustration. I mean, it's truly some just amazing stuff that she creates. And so I'm so excited for those beautiful patios time this week. And this new book. It's going to be glorious. All right. Well, now I'll let you go. We'll see you next Sunday.